This is kind of a venue that's difficult for me, so please bear with me. Do want to say one thing. Coach Moore said more nice things about me tonight than he did over a 2-year period of time. We didn't hear too many nice things out of his mouth at that time, so I thank you for all the nice things you said. I'd like to thank Dennis Jansen and the committee for this wonderful blessing that you've blessed me with tonight. It's a pleasure. Fresno Pacific has always been very special to me, and Dr. Gregory earlier mentioned how we change as people once arriving here. You know, playing in Fresno, I play a lot of basketball, and Coach Snyder, one of my coaches, came over and found me at Frank H. Ball, and you may know it's in West Fresno, and it was an adult league, and I was playing on a team with 2 other former players here, Jarvis Cole and Alvin Stewart. And that particular night, I guess, once again, I had an opportunity to be blessed with his presence, and he saw something in me that gave me an opportunity to change my life. At the time, I was working construction at Zaki Farms, doing of all things, building chicken coops. And he came in on a Thursday night in the middle of August and gave me an opportunity and said, hey, you think you want to play college basketball and further your education? So I came over Friday morning, and he showed me the campus, and at that time, there wasn't a baseball field, there wasn't a soccer field, there wasn't a brand new dormitory, it was Fresno Pacific. And I walked around, he introduced me to a few people, and I quit my job on Friday afternoon and started school on Monday. Trying time, being married, having a small child, and all of a sudden you're a full-time student with no employment. So I took a leap of faith, and I am very thankful for the time that I had here and how it really changed my life. So Fresno Pacific obviously changes lives, as we have testified to over and over again tonight. I'd like to thank Coach Moore for his time of those 2 years with me. From the moment he walked into this gym, I had an instant respect for him as a coach, and he changed my life. He changed my life as a player. It was always nice when we come out and Coach Moore had his tennis shoes strapped up and his shorts on and just a feisty little attitude. He talks about determined, and we learned determination from Coach Moore because he jumped right into the mix of things. Day one, started throwing elbows, started taking charges, and he didn't give us any space, none at all. He was right in the mix of it. Yeah, I'd also like to thank Coach Jesser, Coach Racky, and Bruce Watts. And they were assistant coaches while I was here, and they put a lot of time into dealing with us away from the environment of the head coach, which was 90% of the time negative, but the other 10%, they loved you for sure. And but that's the part of the head coach. Through many years of coaching, not many people love their head coach until the day you graduate and you look back and you're so thankful for the time that they've placed in your life and how they challenge you on a daily basis. And I definitely got that from Coach Moore and Coach Snyder. But I'm also thankful to the relationships of Slick Watts and Coach Jesser and Brian Racky, because they were the ones that said, it's going to be okay, don't worry about it, he's just being coach. And they got us through an awful lot of practices. Growing up, my mom and dad, my dad was a Church of Christ, my grandfather was a Church of Christ minister, and we went to church on a regular basis. And my favorite part of church was the congregational singing. And not many people know I absolutely love to sing. I got this crazy voice right now, but singing has always been a passion of mine, and I love that part of service. I fell asleep on the rest of it. But I enjoyed that part of it. And one of my favorite songs to sing was entitled God Has Smiled on Me. And the chorus of that song says, God has smiled on me, he's been good to me, God has smiled on me, he set me free. And as I look back on my life and time, and especially around Fresno Pacific, and the night Coach Snyder walked into that gym in West Fresno, I recognize that God smiled on me that night. He gave me an opportunity to make changes in my life and become a better man. And Fresno Pacific offered that for me. I look around this room and look at the support of my friends and family who are here tonight, and I recognize once again, God smiled on me. He placed wonderful people in my life that held me accountable for my actions and always told me things that I needed to hear, not necessarily what I wanted to hear. And I'm thankful for those people. As I look at the teammates that made several sacrifices for the success of Donnie Johnson, you know, when you play sports, there are always some people that sacrifice for, quote unquote, some of the better players. And my junior year here, Rich Young was our point guard. And Rich made every sacrifice to pile up assists by throwing the ball to Donnie Johnson. And believe me, I didn't have a problem shooting it. So I'm thankful to Rich and his sacrifices to me as a player. Scott Patterson was another one of those players. My senior year, we missed out on a point guard, a really good point guard named Lauren Bowe, who's here tonight. Came up a little short with some things in the summer and didn't get an opportunity to play for us. So Scott Patterson sacrificed what would have been a two-guard position, which would have given him a whole lot more shots, and had to play point guard. And he sacrificed of himself once again for the expense of Donnie. Then there was Troy Brown, who I had to fight to shoot sometimes with, because Troy had a nickname of Trigger, and if you think of a trigger, it's always getting pulled. So Troy didn't spare any shots, so we were always on the opposite side, and when the ball came up on the right side of the floor, I kind of smiled a little bit, but when it went to that left side, I knew it was time to go get a rebound. So, but I'm thankful to Troy because, you know, leading the team in rebounds was always due to Troy, because I knew it was going up, and so it was time to go get that rebound and try and get an opportunity to shoot, because I wasn't going to get it if Troy touched it again. So thankful to Troy for building my stats in the rebound area. Finally, I've had a lot of changes in my life over the years, and I believe that I've become a better man because of the love of my life in Stephanie. And she makes me a better person on every occasion and everything that I do. And I'm thankful to her so much for the love and the respect that she gives me on a daily basis. Not done yet. Got one more friend who has been with me through just about every day of basketball. He was my high school teammate. We went to separate middle schools and played against each other. And he's been my teammate in life. And his name's Marvin Stevens. He's here tonight. And we played basketball, hoop it up, Frank H. Ball on that same night. Coach Snyder brought me over to Fresno Pacific, and he's just been a wonderful friend. And I'm thankful to him for everything that we've experienced in life, and I love you. All right? Thank you.